but most importantly, you should share it with your own thought as well. So maybe just writing 5, 6, 7 sentences that I just came to know about this, and this is something which is very insightful. The way they have explained the entire process, or maybe the way they are giving this particular in LIC, like for example, they have given some preference to the LIC policy holders and all. So maybe, so putting your points and then probably presenting it. So, see, if I read an article and if I have forwarded it, maybe you have read it in Live Mint and you are forwarding it to me. But maybe the same article I have read in Economic Times, right? So the value in this entire process is like, rather than forwarding all these things, definitely you can forward it, but then with your own view. What it means? It means that you have gone through that article, you have some understanding about this, and then probably I can take a cue from that and I can have my own opinion. Okay. So that is the best way of, sharing all this information. Otherwise, तो good morning वाला जैसे forward होता है वैसे भी forward हो गया, फिर क्या difference है? Maybe जो illiterate लोग हैं वो flower के साथ good morning भेज रहे हैं, आप literate हो तो आप LIC का भेज रहे हो, but difference तो कुछ नहीं है ना ultimately. So that is what you should. That is what you can do. Anyway, we do not have anyone online. I don't know why. So maybe few people are on the way also. So any question you want to discuss? Anything?
So L1 था, regarding it, the box as well as the elevator pitch mask, including, are they going to count the work?
Yeah.
So it will be average of both soft skill plus domain.
Yeah, obviously. So see, if you go through your grade book, I think 25% weightage has been given to soft skills, right? So definitely it means that both will be counted.
So it is a ratio of 75-20.
Yes. I'm little confused. It's 25 or 30, but it's any one of them.
Sir, level 3 का जो marks हो, जो final marks है, level 1, level 2 और level 3 तीनों का होगा.
हाँ. Today is 5th, right? So I believe you are yet to get your L1 scores, right? So what is the score?
So I got T2.
Okay. T1? T2. Okay. T2. Good. So any decision as of now, like how to how you guys are planning to about this placements and all. We have done email writing activity.
Yes.
At least यार email वाले में मेरी नाक मत कटाना. Okay, so Samiksha is online. So today what we are going to do? We are going to do one activity. Now, the purpose of doing this activity is that what happens when you go for an interview, and sometimes you feel blank. So in spite of knowing everything, or not everything, but most of the things, you are still clueless, maybe because of nervousness or because of something, you are just not able to give your best. And then what happens? Yeah, at that moment, like, you know, that interviewer will say like, Acha, tell me anything that you want to discuss with me. Tell me anything. So that is a point where you are getting an opportunity to discuss something of your own interest, right? So maybe, you know, like I ask you one question, two questions, and then if you are not able to answer, then I will say, Acha, theek hai, tell me then what I should ask you. Which topic you know better, right? So what we are going to do is, the idea is to prepare a topic in a way that you are able to answer any question in any of the form, in any of the situation, at any given point of time. You're getting my point? No? Okay. आपके ख्यालों में कोई और?
I just want some examples.
No, I mean, I got it that you are not getting, that's why I asked it. So, you know, like, see, when you are going for an interview, see, any day can be a bad day. Right? So the idea is that maybe the interviewer is asking something to you and you are not able to answer. Maybe, or maybe you are not answering in a very convincing way. So maybe when the interviewer knows that you are from MRTCus, you know, you are a BCom graduate or BBA graduate with this % of marks, maybe you are able to communicate properly. Maybe the first question you have answered in a very better way. So what he will do, he will give you an opportunity and he will ask you that, okay, tell me in which topic you are comfortable. I will ask you questions from that. Okay. And then you should be talking about a topic which is where you have the expertise. You're getting my point? It means that like a doctor, you know, so maybe when you do MBBS, you can treat anybody. But the moment you do MD in cardiology, when you become a cardiologist, you will do all the treatments related to that cardiology kind of thing. So in a way, what we are going to do through this activity, that we want to give you expertise in a given topic, so that at least you are able to answer any kind of question in any form from that particular topic. You are getting my point? Okay. So allow me 5 minutes. I will. In between, if you have any question, you can ask me. Any question? So I had sent you this workbook, right? Workbook, soft skills workbook. Are you working on that? Huh. I have not shared it only, Baba. You are also not seeing. I had shared you that blog wala link and all from the student's perspective. Yeah. So I am yet to see any progress on that from your side. So there are many students, they have started writing about blocks and all. Yes. Just a second. So we have only Samiksha from online. Okay. So can you read this? Okay. So maybe, you know, see, so when you go through the first question, do you look up to someone great in the area of finance? Maybe, you know, generally we say like I'm inspired by Warren Buffett or so and so. Now this is very easy to say. But then when you go in the interview and if they ask you certain typical questions, so what kind of information you have about that person? So the idea is that, you know, that let us have an expertise, let us have a professional information which you can talk at any given point of time at any professional platform, right? Then in IB, what is your favorite topic? You remember, you know, when you get this question, when you are not able to answer the basic questions, and this is very normal, right? It can happen. Maybe if you remember your class 10, 12, Viva and all, you were well prepared, but maybe on that day, you know, you were just not in that, you were not in that form. Like Virat Kohli is not in the form of this IPS. But can we say that he's a bad player? No. But somehow he has not been able to perform, no? Right? So when that interviewer believes that no, you have the power, you have that potential, right? And you know, and I want the best out of you, but still I am not getting it. So then I will say, tell me, what is that you know? Tell me. And there, this will be of great help. Apart from this, at least there will be one topic where you will be having the expertise, where, as I have said, at any given point of time, you can stand and you can speak. Okay, so and these are the questions that I have framed. The idea is to get expertise, to get a very broad knowledge about the given topic. Okay, so the questions are okay.
Yes.
So what is the first question, Kuldeep?
Do you look up to someone great in the area of finance? Writing 50 words.
Now, what you will write?
When I'm writing about
what is that content that you are going to write in 50 words?
So firstly, I'll give the background of that particular person. Then I'll explain his journey to the financial market. And after that, what area or what period he got his success, and currently what he is in.
Yes. Now in IB, what is your favorite topic?
Then IB, I'll take derivatives.
What is the latest update about the given topic, national and international both? I hope, I mean, the idea is just that you are getting these questions.
Yesterday, the RBI governor increased the repo rate by 40 points and CRR by 50 points. As well as in US, the Fed increased the rate by 50 points.
You know? So and there is something like there is a lot of discussion going around this palm oil and all. Right? So maybe आप उसको देखो कैसे आप उसको apply कर सकते हो. What is the unique understanding you have about the chosen topic? This is the most defining question. And there, you know, this is so here we are talking about your own contribution. So like before you all came, we were just discussing, you know, in the class that this is really great to see your involvement in that WhatsApp group. But then the idea is that as we were discussing, Kuldeep, Vishwa and everyone, that what is your contribution in that topic? What is your understanding about that topic? At least that is what you should discuss. So maybe you can give that link, but then below that particular link, at least write about your own understanding. That I just got an opportunity to go through this article. Here they are talking about the future, I mean, the pricing of palm oil, how it is going to be, you know, measured or decided based on the mark. I mean, this and that. This is insightful. If you get time, please go through this. That's it. So at least I will know that this article is about so and so. Maybe if that is of interest to me, I will read about it. if maybe IPO is not my cup of tea, so I will not read about this. Okay, or maybe the way you have presented the fact, in spite of this, that this is not my favorite topic, I can still go through that topic. So maybe you are connecting the dots that, so this article is not only about IPO, but they're also talking about there are certain concepts, principles, and all these things. So that is, see, your contribution is very important. Okay. So please go through this, take out your notebook and complete this exercise. Now, any question from online?
No, sir.
So we have only Samiksha from online.
So I have to do this exercise right now.
Yeah. You have to do it and you have to share it also. You have to come here and you have to present. I'm happy to help you.
So we have to write down 50 words in patterns.
Sorry?
Each first question we have to write 50 words in patterns.
See, what you will be writing, that is your choice. I have given you the question. It's only after you have written and you have shared the content, I will give you the feedback. So I want you to think and I want you to take the lead and present whatever you can think at this moment. So, like, I will again say this, that I'm sorry that I'm taking you all to the old phases of practice and writing and all. But see, I always believe in this one thing, that if you are able to write, you will be able to speak. So LIC का क्या रिपोर्ट था? कितना सब्सक्राइब हुआ नहीं हुआ?
66%.
Only 66%.
66% on Monday.
And what are the chances? Like they say that this is oversubscribed and all. Oversubscribed. Overvalued.
It is open for 6 days.
Zomato का सिर्फ 2-3 या 3 दिन के लिए था. नहीं मतलब क्या मिनिमम एक टाइम होता है?
3 days. 3 days.
Minimum 3 days and maximum 6 days.
LIC is for 6 days.
But then why they are taking 6 days? They are not confident.
large amount of like the
Subscription for LIC holders. That's
Okay. But again, if you go a little deeper into that, I think there is something fishy because they have not been that confident.
also the hiking late yesterday. It may have adverse effect on it.
So so these are some very minute things that you need to understand. And when you are discussing and when you are bringing such points, then the interviewer is going to highlight it without any question. Yeah, do you have that? Simran is asking for a Zoom link. Can you share it with her? You need this. You have got the questions now. You have written down all the questions from here.
Last question.
Actually, I'm just trying to send her this link now because she is not able to join. Done. It's taking so much of time.
Sir, second question is, in IB, what is your favorite topic? Then, in reference of that, the third, fourth, and fifth questions follows. Second question is, in IB, what is your favorite topic? And third, what information do you have on the given topic? If you say derivative is my favorite topic, so third question is also
So what else you know?
About
Yes.
what is the latest report of
Yes. Now, I mean, the one question that is very much important here is what is the unique understanding you have about the chosen topic? Now, that is where you have to explain it in your own way with your own experience, or maybe Simran, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You know what we are doing?
No, sir. Actually, I joined very late because of that. I don't know.
You should ask that what is going on. I'm not able to understand.
Sorry, sir.
No. Oh. You should not be this much obedient. You know? Okay, so these are the topics. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So please go through these topics and you have to write the answers for each and every questions that we have mentioned here. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
If there is any concern, you can always ask me. So this is like a 3-hour exam, you know, during your college days. College lockdown.
Interest rate was
Interest rate.
Done. Done? Ready? Ready? Simran, ready? Samiksha?
Yes, sir.
Simran, we cannot hear you. Done?
Sir, can I start?
Yeah, just a minute. So everyone is ready now? Should we go ahead? Okay. So who is the first person who is going to start? Come. Simran. Simran.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Please start.
Should I read the question?
No, no. Yeah. You have to read the question and then whatever is your answer, that also.
So, do you look up to someone great in the area of finance? Write in 50 words. So, my answer is I always look up at Warren Buffett, how he invests and manages money easy and efficiently. He says if you buy the things you don't need, you will soon sell things you need. From this, if you buy any useless things like for me, my useless things are expensive. If I'm earning something and I'm investing that money in some new cars or new gadgets, rather than I should invest in stocks or some valuable things that I get returns. So this is the line I took from Warren Buffett. This made me realize how value of money is important. So second question is, in IB, what is your favorite topic? So capital market. That was my answer. What information do you have on the given topic? Answer in 100 words. So capital market is a market of long term. It is classified into primary and secondary market. Primary market is where IPOs are issued for first time, where unlisted company get listed. Secondary market is where listed stock get traded. Capital market helps an institution to generate money by diluting their stake to meet their long-term goals, and helps an investor to put their money. In returns, they get capital appreciations and dividends. These all transactions are carried in stock exchange. So this is what I summary of the capital market I have written by my own. The third question is fourth question is, what is the latest update about the given topic, national and international both? So I have written LIC issued their IPO on first day. They have got 67% subscribed, and it will end on 9th May. There is an increase in crude oil, and surprisingly today there is an increase in gold and same increase in stock. Actually, there is an inverse relationship between gold and stock, but surprisingly there is increase in both gold and stock. And one more news that FII, foreign institutional investors, are putting their stakes from Indian market in various sectors like health and the automobile sector. Fifth one is, what is the unique understanding you have about the chosen topic?
So when you say like foreign institutional investors, you said something, they are putting weight on India.
They are taking their money, FIIs.
So they are taking out their money from India.
Yeah, in some sectors.
Like
automobile sector and health sectors. It has started from 2021.
Why?
Because of actually because of Russia war also impacted to take their money, because there is some uncertainty and volatility in market. So they have started putting out their money from Indian market. That was what I understood.
So according to you, like when you say something like this, that they are taking money out of India, so what is your conclusion? Like, see, obviously there are few people who are taking out their money, but at the same time there will be few investors who will be putting money also. So what is that ratio? I mean, the inflow and outflow, what is that ratio as of now?
As of now, I don't know, sir. At the time when Russia and Ukraine war started, at that period of April, there was something 120 million FII amount they took out from Indian market. It is a news of April.
So do you think it is a kind of worrisome trend for us?
Yeah, it is a bad news, because FII, if a company, from investors' perspective, sir, at anytime you have to see who is invested in that company. Like retail investors are like us, retail investors, and FII, DIF, they should have a good amount of stake in that company. That tells that the potential of a company. If they are investing, like foreign institutional investor, FPI, foreign portfolio investor, they are investing in some companies. So it is a good, it is overall a good, makes a good profile of a company. What is the unique understanding you have about the chosen topic? So my chosen topic was capital market. So I have written that capital market is like a two-way road, where it gives funds to a borrower and opportunities to an investor to gain. It also helps in economic welfare by development, by channelizing funds between them, in between lender and borrower. What is your opinion on chosen topic for the next 6 months to 1 year? So I have written, sir, capital market is a never-ending market. No one can trade this market, but one can speculate and gain his profit by news, by future news and current news. There will be a lot more new companies will get.
So don't say like by news and all. You say maybe with proper information. News is something, it's a mix of positive, negatives, truth, and myth, and so many factors are there.
It can be false news also.
Yeah.
Information is so market there will be a lot more new companies will get listed, and it's getting bigger day by day. There will be more investors and borrowers day by day, and it is never ending process, capital market. Do you look up to someone who has mastered this topic? Share his or experience and what you have learned from them. So I have written that my dad, I look at my dad. My dad, after his retirement, he started investing in mutual funds. I still remember at the time of the pandemic, we have lost huge amount. I kept saying to him, just take out the money. It is not the thing you should invest because you are the beginner. How can you trust of any institution? He's taking our money and he's guaranteeing that he will give 12 to 14% return. Rather, we can go for fixed deposit or something else where we will get a reliable income. So at the time, I forced him to took out money, but he never listened to my any advice. He still had a patient and he still waited for the market to get bounce back, and currently market has a good bounce back. So what I learned there is patience and a systematic investment. Now my dad has invested in several gold bonds. The because of several gold bonds, because if you see 10 years price of a gold, there is always a difference of 50%, and you will always, if you invest in several gold bonds, you will get a 6% interest every year, and after 10 years, you will get the price of the gold at the current price. If you are investing today, so today's gold price is 50,000. So after 10 years, what's the price? You will get that amount, and with that, you will get 6% interest every 10 years. Every 1 year means till the 10th year last year. Second, he is invested in mutual funds and some long-term stocks, and he always invested fixed deposit because to hedge the risk. If something went wrong and something goes wrong all the way, so we have a backup that we also have a fixed deposit that gives a reliable income, PPFs and mutuals. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Good. Anyone? Yeah.
Hello everyone. Good morning. I'll be talking about I will do I look up to someone who in the area of finance and 50 words. I look up to Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Basically, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
So I look up to Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
Yes, sorry. I look up to Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Was born and brought up. About his introduction, he was born and brought up in Mumbai. He is a billionaire right now. He's a trader, stock trader, and he has also pursued a CA in his career. So a long time back, where did he got an inspiration to get into trading was basically he saw his dad and he saw his dad trading, as well as they were talking about discussion. So slowly he asked his dad, and his dad started guiding him towards investments. And later on, he started with 5,000 of capital in 1985. Anything? No. And later on, 5,000 capital in 1995, and slowly in 1985 to 1986, in 1 or 2 years, he earned up to 20 to 25 lakhs rupees from his own development. He started growing, and slowly his biggest profit was 5 lakh. His biggest investments was in Titan companies, which was worth 7,300 crores, and his current net worth right now is around 590 crores. Right? Umesh, anything? 5.6 billion. 5.6 billion, right? And in IB, what's my favorite topic is? My favorite topic is stock market. So basically, I'll talk about stock market. Stock market in India, what are stock markets? Stock markets are basically where companies get listed. Everyone knows that, right? So there are 2 stock markets in India, BSE and NSE. Both are located in Bombay. And so why investors? Why do they come to stock market? To gain profit. Either to gain profit in intraday or for long-term holdings, for capital appreciation for the long term, as well as why do they do this? Why? What's the reason? Basically, why do companies get listed? That's my question. To basically expand to growth, for manufacturing purposes, or they can have n number of reasons. for that. So in stock market, when a company gives they dilute the equity and it gives you a certain portion where you buy some shares and you'll be a part owner of whatever percent of shares you own in the company. There are factors affecting the basically I'll tell about the factors that are affecting stock market. Basically, those are inflation, geographical reasons, war, inflation, election budget, then government policies, new government policies, current events, natural calamities, supply and demand of specific companies, specific sectors, any commodities. Then later, so the fourth question I'll go to. What is the latest update about the given topic in national international market? Like Vinay said in the starting when we discussed, 40 BPS has increased by RBI. And as well as CRR, which is current reserve ratio, by 50%, 50 BPS points, right? Vinay? As well as third thing which is happening.
Continue. So like, see, the idea behind doing this activity is that, like, when you use any term like 40 BPS or like CRR, so you should also say at the same moment, like, that what is the full form of basis points. But what is the significance of that point? So maybe just one sentence. So like, this the rate on which generally this RBI gives a loan to this banks, so they measure it in this. So that is the tool I'm discussing here. So maybe just one and a half sentence about that as well. Now, see, you may be knowing this, okay, and even that the person is also aware of this. But the moment you bring in these small things, it adds value. It gives a clarity to the listener that it is not that you have mastered the advanced level of this or that advanced knowledge, but you are someone who has knowledge from that basics, that primary to the advanced level. So in a way, you are giving this glimpse, or maybe in a way you are giving him this information that I know most of the things. So that is the idea, and see, never ever go with assumption. Like he said that everyone is aware of stock market. How you know that everyone is aware of stock market? So, never ever compromise on the basics of delivering a speech, or, see, we do not want to say that our audience are fool. No, they are intelligent people. But then just to give a clarity, just to set up the context, I need to define every technical point, right? And the idea is to show that I know this. The idea is to know. Many times it happens between two friends that one friend will say, you didn't say something to me at that moment. And he said, oh, I thought you were aware. And then you say, how come you know that I was aware of this? No, I will not talk to you. It happens? Yes. So never ever go in assumptions. उसको तो पता ही हो, उसको नहीं पता है, आपको कहना पड़ेगा. मतलब उसके लिए जो भी टाइम बना है, पैब वेब का कुछ ऐसा टाइम है, तो आपको कहना पड़ता है.
And then later on, the sixth question was, what's my opinion on choosing this topic? Like, what's my unique understanding about the topic I have chosen? Everyone, for new investors, from new investors' point of view, anyone who's coming to stock market should have a clear understanding about the company, about the sector he's investing in. He should do his fundamental analysis as well as technical analysis. He should know the company first. Then he should go into doing investments. And as for the working individuals or the one who are in the corporate jobs who wants to invest in stock market, they don't have time to invest as well as to analyze the market. They can hire a broker and they can go to advisory services and there are many financial instruments they can explore. Like if they want a fixed return, they can go for FDs as well as commercial papers as well as money market instruments. And later, if they want FDs and fixed income, or if they want the long term, they can advise for their advisors or anyone they can. And then so, do you who do you look up to, and was how they have mastered the topic, and share the expert experience and what you have learned from them. So Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, he quoted in latest real estate conference in 2022. Nobody can predict whether death, market, or a woman. So what he meant was market cannot be predicted by anyone. It's highly volatile, it's highly mysterious, as well as it's highly uncertain. And my learning from him is be opportunistic. Means here what he used to do basically, if any stock he wants to invest in, he used to do his homework. What homework he used to do? Fundamental analysis, as well as he used to look, is it overvalued or undervalued? If it's undervalued, he used to invest in that before getting the stock, before the stock gets popular. Second, be optimistic. A critical and important part of investing in the market is that always think positively. When you think positively, we will be able to make informed as well as logical decisions positively. So if you have to have this positive attitude towards getting into market to make profits. If you have this market that negatively impact, it will affect your emotions also, and you'll play a certain game which won't affect and won't make you a profit in the long term. Second, buy for long term. Basically, buy and invest in companies. Invest in businesses and not in companies which are about to grow. Fourth is be consistent. Be patient. Lot of patience in investing for long term. Learn to control your expectations. And last one is control your emotions. Having a hold on your emotions would make you profit in the long term. That's it, sir. Thank you.
Good. Don't say like, be opportunist, because that is not a positive word. So rather you can say that, you should be intelligent enough to grab the opportunity, or you should be, that way just, because it's not a positive word. Okay, anybody from online? Simran, go ahead, and then we'll take a break.
Okay, so I'll start.
Switch on your camera.
So today, I look up to someone which is like very well known. It's Elon Musk. He's an entrepreneur, the CEO of Tesla and also PayPal. He also owns Twitter. So recently he shared an investment advice for long term. Buy stocks in several companies that makes products and services that you believe in. Only sell if you think their products and services are trending. Worse, don't panic when the market plunges. So my favorite topic would be capital market, and to subdivide it, I would like to tell you that I like researching about undervalued stocks. So an undervalued stock is defined as a stock that is selling at the price below its intrinsic value. So the market value is something which is like the current value, and intrinsic value is the face value you can talk about. So it's ranging like lower than that. So undervalued stock have considerable potential to yield substantial returns if an investor analyzes the different variables related to such stocks. So how to know if the stock is undervalued? It's actually by calculating PEG ratio, which is price earnings to growth ratio. So if the PEG ratio is less than 1, then the stock is undervalued. If the PEG ratio is equal to fair value, is equal to 1, then it's fair value. If the PEG ratio is greater than 1, then the stock is overvalued. So as if we talk about A&G Life Sciences, so it's from the healthcare sector. So around Feb 2022, the stock was ranging at 500. So if you talk about the price and the market value and the intrinsic value, that time the stock was actually overvalued. So I had actually purchased that stock for 500 and currently it's trading at 245. So you have to do your analysis. So if we talk about the latest news in the market, so there is the latest news about Tata Steel. So the company will split its share in 10:1, and it also announces the dividend of rupees 51 per share. And if we talk about my experience or my opinion, I believe if we have to save, we need to start saving right now. It's not like you need too much of capital. A little is enough. If we talk about like our pocket monies, we spend so much in restaurants. Today, my sister is investing her like a little amount of portion from her pocket money, as now she invested in Idea Vodafone shares. She invested around 1,000 rupees, and now she has earned up to 3-4 thousand from it. So like you have to start from the small, then you can like rotate that money in other stocks as well. And my dad has actually inspired me about these stocks, because when I started investing, I was like, the market was plunging very much. And as you know, the market is very volatile. I was like, this is very risk-taking and I cannot. So he was like, start investing in stocks which are undervalued. So he taught me about this concept. And recently, I just saw his portfolio. We had talked about Loyal Steels. He had invested around in March 2019. The price was around 1 rupees, and today it's trading at 14 rupees. So if you see the increase in amount, as per my research, in May 17, the stock was trading at May 17, 2019. The stock was trading at the price of 0.65. And as I told you, currently it's trading at 14.96 rupees. There's one more example, which is Alok Industries. It was trading at 15 to 14 rupees in May 2021. And currently it's trading at rupees 25. So there are many stocks like these. We can use screeners. You can follow many YouTubers like the Alpha Trader. They actually help you with fundamental analysis and technical analysis. That's it. Thank you.
We'll take a break and then we'll start, okay? Yeah, Shubham.
Yes.
Please. Deep, you are here, no?
Hello, everyone. So the first question was, do you look up to someone great in the area of finance, right in fiscal year?
So any feedback?
We'll share that. No problem.
So Peter Lynch is one of the most successful and well-known investor all the time. He is a value investor, and his famous saying is one of the popular saying I will share with you. The trick is not to learn to trust your gut feelings, but rather to discipline yourself to ignore them. Stand by your stocks as long as the fundamental story of the company hasn't changed. So if you believe in the fundamentals of the company, so you should stand by your stock only. So Lynch developed an interest in the stock market through the conversations. So he was studying in the age at the age of 11 years. So at that time he developed his interest in the stock market. So he after completing the graduation he worked as an analyst in the Fidelity for 8 years, and after that he took over the Magellan Fund, and he was the fund manager of the aggressive fund there over there, and he was able to generate about 29%, and he outperformed the S&P 500 index. That index is in the American index, so 500 stocks listed in that index. So he believed in the value investing. So PEG, as this one of my friends said, similar. So PEG ratio is used to calculate the growth of the stock. So if it is under 1, PEG ratio is under 1, so it is undervalued, and if the more than 1, it is overvalued. So according to undervalued and stock and overvalued stock, he used to analyze the stock data and did the fundamental analysis of the stock, and he used to invest in the value stocks, quality stocks. So by that he was able to generate that 29% of return. So second question was in the investment banking. So in the investment banking, which is your favorite topic? So my favorite topic is mutual funds. So information about that fund, about the mutual fund. So mutual fund is a ready-made, in the layman language I will tell you. So mutual fund is a ready-made portfolio which is managed by the professionals or experts. So in the mutual fund, various investors push their money into the fund, and according to the fund scheme, those experts invest investors' money into the fund. Suppose some according to the investor risk profile. So some investor willing to take the high risk, and some investor willing to take the low risk. According to their risk profile, investor invests their money, and the fund manager invests their money into the funds. So there are two types of schemes: open-ended scheme and close-ended scheme. I will tell you what is open-ended scheme. So investor can invest and redeem the units at any given period of time after the NFO ends. So what is NFO? NFO is the new fund offer. It is like IPO only. When you subscribe to the IPO in the starting days, so they will give you to subscribe to the IPO for 3 days or 4 days, something like that. So NFO gives you 10 days. So in the 10 days, in the 7 to 10 days, you have to invest in the mutual that fund. So you will be able to continue the SIPs through the fund. So, and what is close-ended fund? Close-ended fund is a fund do not permit entry or exit of the investor after the NFO period. So after the new fund offer, investor won't allow to redeem the fund. So till maturity. So what are the type of mutual fund? Equity oriented funds. So exposure is more like in the equity stock. Bond funds invest in the more of like a bonds only. So money market funds, money market instruments. These funds invest in the money market instruments. And hybrid funds, as the name suggests, it is a combination of the mix equity plus debt. So it is in hybrid fund there are 3 types. There are also 3 types: aggressive, conservative, and a balance. So according to the risk profile of the investor, the hybrid fund you can invest. What are the advantages of the mutual fund? It is managed by professionals. So at the beginning, suppose you are a beginner in the stock market, so it is managed by the professionals. You don't need to worry about your funds. So diversification. So when we say don't put your eggs in the one basket, so it got distributed in the various sets of assets. So affordability, it is affordable. Yeah, liquidity is high in this. So the next question is, what is the international and national updates regarding this? So returns from the international equity mutual funds were at best subject to 20% tax after indexation. This gap has now closed because domestic equity fund returns are now taxable at 10%. So it 20 from they are charging now 10%. Before that was 20% for, and the recently fund ran in US by Vanguard would soon be available for Indian investor. So Indian investor can invest in the mutual funds. So recently the RBI hiked the repo rate by 40 basis points. So basis points is what? It is a tool by the RBI, repo rate tool. So RBI gives the loan to the commercial bank at this rate, and most of the fund managers are saying it is accommodative stance of the RBI to control the inflation. So, what is your unique understanding regarding mutual funds? Personally, I have been investing in the mutual fund since 3.5 years. I was beginner in the stock market, did not know about it, how to invest, and what should we do. Then at that period of time, so I got to know about the mutual funds. That now my mutual fund that it is well managed by the professionals that I got to know. So now my mutual fund portfolio is giving me around a 50% return. Now, if you put same amount of money in the fixed deposit, it will yield lower interest of 6% maximum, if you see. And one good thing about this fund, about this, you can do SIPs. So if you invest certain amount of fixed amount in a mutual fund, like suppose monthly investment you are doing 1,000, let's say 1,500, you can invest in that fund, do the SIP, and you can see the compounding effect over the period of time. SIP monthly. Okay. So question 6. Question 6 मैंने लिखा नहीं है. Yes, my opinion about this topic. So if you're new and starting your mutual fund journey now, in the beginning you won't see high returns. In the 6 months to 1 year, mutual fund won't give you returns as per the one's expectation. So if you hold it for more than 3 years, you will see the compounding effect. So 7th question. So who inspired you in this journey? So there is one person, my cousin brother. He is into the stock market since very long time, 10 years. And he introduced me to stock market and mutual funds. He is actively into the trading in the stock market and investing in the mutual fund. Firstly, he made a lot of mistakes. He lost about 2 lakhs of rupees, and he did many mistakes. And from that mistakes, I learned a lot. And firstly, he made okay. He was listening to the tips of the other people and not doing his own analysis, and he lost a lot of money due to that. And he used to withdraw his fund from the mutual fund at the earliest. Now he learned it and practicing it for more than 8 years. From this, I have learned that don't withdraw your mutual fund investment early. Give time to grow, and don't listen to any tips. Do your own analysis. Thank you, guys.
Very good. Next. You are Ragini. So I think you are not regular in soft skill classes.
Yes, I have my exams last month. That's why I missed some classes.
Not some classes.
3 classes.
This is not some classes. This is more of classes. Okay.
So good morning, everyone. Myself is Komis Bagele, and I am talking about the I'm talking about first question, that is, do you look up to someone great in the area of finance? Write in 50 words. So Siddharth also talk about the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So I have also mentioned about the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
So as one of my friend has already discussed about him, I'm going to
Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, also known as the big bull or Indian Warren Buffett, and he always talk about his strengths and fathers of stock market, and he was invested in 1985 and entered into the stock market, and he has invested 5,000 for the first time in the stock market. After that, his first profit was 0.5 million when he was bought the 5,000 shares of Tata Tea at the price of 43 per share within 3 months, and he made profit of over 3 times by selling the stock of Tata Tea, and this was the first big profit from their investment. And after that, he was investing huge money in the stock market with the analyzing a company and condition of company, and also he was analyzing the fundamentals of company. Then the price of in the stock market with the analyzing of company, then the price of shares right now, the net worth right now, his net worth right now 5.6 billion, which is equal to 41,000 crore. Second question, that is, in investment banking, what is your favorite topic? So my favorite topic is IPO, that is the initial public offering. And what information do you have given on this topic? So IPO is the initial public offering offering. The companies issue the shares for the first time to the public to raise the capital. So that is the IPO. And also I would like to tell you that the process of IPO, that is the first process of IPO, that is qualification of IPO. In this process, the equity capital of applicants shall not be less than 10 crore, and capitalization of the applicant shall not be less than 25 crores. Then second process, that is the appointment of IPO participant. In this case, the investment banks play the biggest role, and the appoints the lead manager or advisor to the issue of shares. And in this process, syndicate members also do the big role of collect bids of the price from the public. And third process is registration of documents. Every documents are registered in this process, and final process is determine the price. They finalize the price of the shares in this process. So, and question for that is, what is the latest update about the given topic? So I have given the latest information on this topic, that is LIC.
So see, when you are going to talk about IPO, definitely. So when you are going to talk about LIC, it is an example. So when you say the latest information about the topic, what we mean is that it's more of policy thing. It's more of the policy thing. So has government made some changes, or some kind of thing? As far as I am concerned, I'm not very sure, but then based on the best of my knowledge, I know that I have not heard of any IPO where they are giving preference to their policy holders. I think, again, I don't know there is any such incident in the history of finance or not, but then, so this is something even I came to know for the first time, that they have gone to extent of giving preference to those, or maybe they have allotted some amount of share, something like that. Yeah. So discount. So maybe, I don't know, maybe do you know any such instances in the past? Right. So this information you can always discuss. Maybe then and you know this is a task for you. So you should analyze this critically, that on what para, on what basis, or under which bylaw these things has been allowed. यार जब आप ऐसे सोचोगे तभी तो आपका नॉलेज बढ़ेगा, नहीं तो फिर तो आप वो बुक पढ़ रहे हो फिर. तो you know, so that ability to look at the things थोड़ा सा उसको critically आप analyze करो. So like maybe what kind of, like what I know that before going for any IPO and all, you have to submit some document to the SEBI or something.
Yes.
Right? So on what parameters, what are the guidelines that they follow, what kind of freedom the companies have in order to decide something about their IPO. So again, this is something. So when you are going to talk about IPO, you should talk about these things, that policy things, that bylaws, not the example. Definitely you can give the example of LIC because that is the latest thing that is happening. So maybe you can give an example starting from Paytm to Zomato, because they have been much talked IPOs in the history of India. Zomato बहुत ज़्यादा उसका डिस्कशन हुआ था, Paytm का बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्कशन हुआ है, Nykaa का बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्कशन था, और अभी LIC का है. तो maybe these are the four as far as my knowledge is concerned. So मैं उसको कैसे बोलूं, आप मतलब जब आप पढ़ते हो ना तो उससे मतलब उससे मोहब्बत करो. मतलब आप उसको इस तरीके से मत देखो कि नहीं हाँ मतलब you know I have to get this definition and this and that, you know. Like see, when you love someone, you try to know what is their favorite thing, what they like, what they don't like, what is their special preference. Up you know, and it is with respect to your dad also. I'm saying with respect to your mom, your sister, your friend, everything. So bring that element in academics. Even if you have seen all the slides, all the topics that we have discussed till date, it has that element. I have never come here in the class with 50 slides. Have you seen any of my presentation with 50 slides? Otherwise, I would have also come with, no, that this is the grammar, then this is how you should hold your body, this is the image. I have never done that because I know that the stage where we are, we need to discuss, we need to develop critical thinking. And once you have done that, then throughout your life, you will be gaining knowledge. So rather than giving you 100 fish or 100 fishes to you all, what I have done is that I have told you the trick that how you can get that fish. So that is my focus. My focus is not to give you 100 fishes there in your basket and you are very happy. No, sir has given me 100 fishes. After 100 today, what you will do? But if you know how to hunt or how to get that fish, throughout the life, you will be able to feed yourself. Okay. So we should discuss this from policy point of view. Okay. और ये क्वेश्चन तो आपको खुद से पूछना चाहिए कि भाई LIC में ऐसा क्या हो गया कि उन्होंने ऐसा कैसे कर दिया, गोइंग फॉरवर्ड क्या होगा, ऐसा कोई पहले का इंसिडेंट है या नहीं है, तब तो पढ़ने का मजा आएगा. नहीं तो फिर तो वो सब मैथमेटिकल फार्मूला हो जाएगा, सेबी के बायलॉज हो जाएंगे जो कोई भी याद नहीं करना चाहता. ठीक है. So from that perspective, you should do. हाँ, मतलब and this is not for you, this is for the entire class.
In this case, the LIC has given some exempted amount to their policyholder and also to their employee.
And one more thing, please sometimes talk about some foreign IPOs as well. आप लोगों का सारा न्यूज इंडियन मार्केट के से लगा रहता है. हम एक्चुअली आप किसके लिए काम करोगे? आप नॉर्दर्न ट्रस्ट के लिए काम करोगे, आप गोल्डमैन सैक्स के लिए काम करोगे, आप मॉर्गन स्टैनली के लिए काम करोगे, और वो किसके लिए काम कर रहे हैं? तो उसके बारे में पढ़ो ना भाई. आप मेरी बात समझ रहे हैं? I mean, ये पढ़ना खराब नहीं, ये गुड है, बट हमारा पर्पस क्या है वो हमें भी देखना है. Because from there we get some good information which we can always use in our answers during the interview. You're getting my point? So if you remember, I had given you this question that who is the target, what is the business model of the company, and from where they are getting their revenue. So maybe if I aspire to work with Northern Trust, from where they are getting their revenue, which kind of client set. Maybe आपके पास एक ऐसा सर्वे होना चाहिए कि नॉर्दर्न ट्रस्ट का अगर 100 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू है, फॉर एग्जांपल, तो किस कंटिनेंट से या किस कंट्री से कितना परसेंट. So maybe if suppose they are getting approximately 50% of their revenue from Asia Pacific region. So then we should go and learn about Asia Pacific region, that why they are getting so much of money from this place. What is so special about this market? When you think like this, no, अगर आप ऐसे सोचोगे तो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, पढ़ाई कभी आपको बोरिंग लगेगी, आप बहुत मजा आएगा, बहुत मजा आएगा, बट आपके अंदर वो काबिलियत, वो एक्सपर्टीज होनी चाहिए उसको सोचने का, उसे इंफॉर्मेशन निकालने, right? So you need to think like this. So the idea of doing all these activities, everything is not like that when you are there in that interview on that particular date, and you know the interviewer should say this, that oh my God, and we have a cup of coffee. मतलब आप बोलो तो फिर उसको लगे हाँ भाई कोई है, या वही फिर आप वही डेफिनेशन आप भी दे रहे हो, वही सब कुछ आप भी दे रहे हो, फिर क्या फायदा. I remember, you know, like BNY Mellon में मतलब मेरे 7 students select हुए उसमें at 7.5 on a package of 7.5, and you know what I was happy about when the interviewer told me that, you know, सर मैं खुद अप्रोच किया कि सर बताओ मेरे बच्चे कैसा कर रहे हैं, कोई फीडबैक है तो बताओ, मैं अपने आने वाले बच्चों को सिखाऊंगा, मतलब बैच में आऊंगा मेरे जितना. तो you know he said this, he said like I'm surprised कि आपके बच्चों को इतना नॉलेज. मेरी कंपनी के बारे में वो कुछ तो ऐसे फैक्ट्स बताए जो मैं भी नहीं सकता. वो मेरे लिए एक कॉम्प्लीमेंट, मे बी मैंने आपको उस तरीके से उन बच्चों को गाइड किया. मे बी यू रिमेम्बर that 6 कंपनीज आपको फार्मूला दिया था ना, अपने ड्रीम कंपनीज के लिस्ट बनाओ, रोज उसके बारे में पढ़ते हो, तो लिस्ट ही नहीं बनाई है भाई.
हमने सब बनाई है बट मैंने पढ़ा नहीं सर.
ए पे रहोगे तो एवरेज रहोगे, ई तक जाओ तभी एक्सीलेंट बनोगे, ठीक है, और जेड तक मत जाना. वेरी गुड. Yeah, Ragini, come. We'll have Hanan in the last.
My name is Ragini. First question is, do you look
up to someone?
Do you look up to someone great in the area of finance?
मतलब आप ही ने लिखा है कि मैंने लिखा है, आप नहीं पढ़ पा रहे.
My question.
It's okay.
I also written about Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata is an Indian industrialist and former chairman of Tata Sons. He was also been chairman of Tata Groups from 1990 to 2012, and again as interim chairman from October 2016 through Feb 2017. He raised by his grandmother Nawaz Bai at the Tata's place. Ratan Tata started his career with the Tata Groups in 1961. He later went to Harvard Business School to complete his studies.
Now again, see, the information that she is sharing is a factual based. It's a fact based information. Now you cannot add or delete from that particular okay, because it's fact that he was. Now when there is anything about facts, it is known to everybody. You should take the points where you can add the value. Maybe, for example, Ratan Tata says that, I mean, this is what I have heard that, I'm not very sure of this, that I do not take right decisions. Rather, I take decisions and make them right. Something like this. So maybe you will have an opportunity to explain this in your own words, in your own thoughts. Like, how do you see, or how do you learn from this point of this statement that he has made? So maybe you should talk about something where you can add something. You are getting my point? वो कब जन्म में हुए, उनके माता जी का क्या नाम है, तो फैक्ट है, तो कोई भी गूगल में मारेगा खर्च सब आ जाएगा सामने. तो वहां पे तो आपने वैल्यू ऐड नहीं किया. लेकिन अगर आप उनकी किसी स्पेसिफिक जर्नी के बारे में जब आप बात करते हो या कुछ इंसिडेंट्स शेयर करते हो, तो मे बी यू आर एडिंग समथिंग. ओके.
Favorite topic, second question. I choose money market, where money market is a market where dealing in debt less than 1 year. It is specially money market is dealt by government and institutions, big institutions. Third question is information about money market. Money market is a short-term market for lending and borrowing of funds less than 1 year. There are various types of instrument in market, such as T-bill, commercial papers, repurchase agreement, interbank lending. We also saw about interbank lending, commercial papers, and instruments of money market. Fourth question is latest update about money market. As some of my friends already told about CRR and repo rate. RBI's unexpected repo rate hike surprises markets. The hike in repo rate by 40 basic points and 50 basic points hike in CRR by RBI took investors by surprise, with the RBI getting aggressive with this policy. Due to that, Indian equities come down crashing on the Indian equity crashing down yesterday, as we all track market. In the money market, 10 years government bond yields jumped nearly 4% to 7.3%. Fifth question is what is unique understanding about money market is it is a market purely for short-term fundraising and financial asset. It deals with the financial asset having a maturity less than 1 year or up to 1 year. It deals with only those assets which can be converted into cash without loss and with minimum transaction cost. Sixth question is what is my opinion? In the money market, fluctuations are less volatile, and it is mainly based on the interbank lending rates, interest rates, and MIBOR and LIBOR rates. So I don't have any other opinion on that. Lastly, as everyone talk about Mr. Jhunjhunwala. Mr. Jhunjhunwala is popularly referred as money market king and the big bull of India, also the king of bull markets. His first profit, as Siddharth said, his first profit was 5 lakhs in 1986. I have learned from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, that be ready to grab opportunity. He says that we should be calm and do our homework thoroughly to identify the right stocks to buy. Also, I learned four major things from him, that his analyzing things are different from others. He look for a company with competitive edge. Second, for becoming successful, he says for becoming successful, you don't have to be right all the time. Third is consistency. He is consistent with his analysis and homework. Fourth is he always say go big on your conviction. Thank you.
Mamta.
Yes, you want.
Hi friends, my name is Mamta. We look up to someone
She's a fighter.
Yes, sir.
in the area of finance. Mr. Gautam Adani. He is a self-made billionaire from Gujarat at the age of 59. And he is the founder of Adani Group, a multinational conglomerate company. Its headquarters is Ahmedabad and founded in 1988. He was a very ambitious young man. He dropped out of school and moved to Mumbai from Ahmedabad to strive and seek his fortune. First, he started with a diamond brokering, where he found great success within a year and was soon a millionaire. He returned home at the behest of his brother, who helped him run a small plastic factory. Adani set up his own business, Adani Enterprises, which became the Adani Group flagship company. Initially dealing in export and import of commodities, the business soon expanded, and now he became a world fifth richest person. Investment banking favorite topic is capital market. And information about the topic: capital market are composed to primary and secondary market. The most common capital markets are stock market and bond market. The money can invest in capital market. Money can be invested by any individual investors. Capital markets, capital market is for long term, and its maturity is more than 1 year. And capital market is regulated by SEBI. In capital markets, where funds are exchanged between supplier of the capital and those who demand capital for use. There are two markets in a capital market. There are primary market and secondary market. First is a primary capital market, where new securities are issued and sold, such as IPO. Secondary market is the previously issued securities are traded between investors. And latest update about the topic, that is the LIC IPO. The initial public offering of LIC opened for subscription yesterday, and it will remain open for subscription till 9th May. And LIC shares are trading at premium at 9%. And LIC has set price band as 902 to 949 per share of the face value of ₹10, each for its 21,000 crore IPO. LIC is offering a discount of 60% its policy holders, while discount of ₹45 its retail investors and employees. Total offer size of 50% of the net offer is reserved for qualified institutional buyer, and 35% of retail investors, and remaining 15% for non-institutional investors. One lot has 15 shares, and LIC reduced its IPO size is to 3.5% from 5%. Decided earlier due to the prevailing market
So
condition.
again, like this is something we need to understand. Again, this is a fact based, like 14% to this, 25% to this. Now, as an curious student, you should go behind the logic that why this percent to this sector. So that is where is the learning. That is the place where you will learn. So maybe if I am today, I am saying that I will give 25% to institutional investors and maybe 35% to retail investors. It's okay. And maybe there is another company which says that I am giving 50% to retail investors, or that percentage, obviously it varies, right? Varies, no, I mean, it is not fixed. So the learning is like, what is the logic behind such distribution? So that is, you have to catch. Even if you can always say, like, even if you are not able to say the exact percentage, it's okay. But the moment you are able to define the logic behind that, that is what is the learning. it will take just maybe 5 seconds to find out this percentage from Google. You just type in the Google, obviously she has got the information from Google one. It will not take more than 5 to 7 seconds. But then the idea is, because the moment you go behind that logic and you try to explore the logic behind distribution of this percentage, it means you are making yourself fundamentally strong. So maybe tomorrow when you are analyzing any IPO or anything, you will have these logics in mind that, you know, because of this factors, they have gone with this kind of distribution. So that is the place of learning. Okay. So you should think about that rather than, so we are not discussing anything fact based here. No, that is not the objective. The objective is to understand the logic behind those facts. साथ में हम लोग हैं तो म्यूजिक की तरफ है, ठीक है सिद्धार्थ, यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट नो? तो आप ऐसे सोचो.
What is the unique understanding about the topic? Capital.
So there you will come with that understanding. Yeah, go ahead.
Capital market is based on long-term period, and capital market allow traders to buy and sell stocks and bonds, and a business to raise financial capital to grow. But business also have reduced risk and expenses in financial capital because they have reliable markets where they can obtain funding. What is the opinion of opinion? I expect land prices to keep rising, higher mortgage rates to lower housing prices, but I don't see that happening because we will see lower demand, but not necessarily lower prices. NER expects home sales to drop 9% during 2020. Do you look up to the someone who has mastered the topic? The interesting facts about Adani, Mr. Gautam Adani, a school drop. First school drop. Gautam Adani was a school drop out from the Commerce Department of the CM Vidyalaya in Ahmedabad. Since long Mumbai's thriving diamond business allured him, he mastered the insider tricks of the business within 3 years. And awesome visionary is during his school days, Adani visited Gujarat's Kandla port. On that day, he decided he would also build something like that in his life, or even bigger than that. From that day, he chased his dream, which come true in bigger dimensions. He sailed a 6,000 crore deal within 100 hours. With his amazing negotiation skills, he obtained the Udupi thermal power plant in 6,000 crore rupees deal. The entire negotiation process lasted for not more than 100 hours. And his company is the biggest private power producer in the country. Adani Power Limited is the power business of the Adani Group that owns a number of thermal power plants that produce up to 4,620 milliwatts. His company is the largest private power producers and largest solar power producers in the country.
Hi, my name is Siddharth. So first question is, do you look up to someone great in the area of finance? There are two people. One is Robert Kiyosaki. He is an American businessman and author. He is famous for he is founder of Rich Global LLC and the Rich Dad Company. He is also the author of Rich Dad and Poor Dad. That was the first book that I ever read in related to finance. There is a quote in his book which says, "Never work for money, but let money work for you." That was the first time where I actually thought how I can make money work for me and how are the different sources through which I can earn money. So the first thing that came to was mutual funds. Then there is stock market. How if I start earning more money, I can start some business and through that I can earn some money. So it was very influential to make me think of different ways where I can earn money. And second one is Mitesh Patel. He is also known as the young man, angry young man of option trading. He is someone. He started his journey in 2005, where with influence of his fame, he got to know about stock market. Then afterwards, he got job in Reliance industry, where there were older people who were in stock market and who were trading in derivatives and future. He had no knowledge about the derivatives of future. Still, he wanted to try. So he saved up some capital and he started trading in options and futures. Since he had no knowledge, so he wiped out all his accounts during that time. He is someone who converted an account of 20,000 to 26 lakhs. And also from 26 lakhs, he came to 1 lakh because of his greed. He also lost like about 30 lakhs in 2015. He has given more to the market just to have experience. Afterwards, he started learning about what mistake he was doing, and he started working on it and got more knowledge. And now he is one of the best option seller there is in the stock market.
Just one thing I want to suggest here. So whenever you are going for any interview, try to understand that job profile. Now, the moment he had said that he is known as angry young man of options trading. Now, see, if you are following such people, it means you also have that fire. Now, see, when you go for any recruitment and all, companies look from different perspective. As I have said earlier, maybe if it is a well-established organization, so they look for someone who can just adopt to the work culture and start doing something, which is in the sync of this company requirement. So maybe they will not like to hire someone who has fire. For example, Infosys, TCS. I mean, from Indian IT perspective, I'm telling you, because they want someone who can just follow the process, no brain to apply. Only this much that you can identify the fields and you can improve. Okay, so you have to be really very mindful when you are taking such names, or maybe you are talking in that language. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. Okay, so and this is it requires a lot of intelligence, because then they will think that this guy is not going to stay with me because he has so much of passion, he's so fiery that he will leave me like anything. He has just come to settle himself to get some money, and the moment he has something, he will go out, he will invest, and he will start working. So I will not have someone like this.
So last time, but you said that action words are necessary. These are emotional words, but
no. So action verbs are necessary, but then the moment you say that you are following him, you bring that action in yourself. No,
emotions also correct.
You bring that in yourself. But if you are talking about someone like, what is his name? Mitesh Patel. So when you are talking about him, and you remember in the elevator pitch, we had discussed this, that you should have a vision statement. Yeah. Because see, we are going to give a glimpse of our personality through those given quotations and through those personalities. So we should have that option that if it is required, I can be moderate. If it is required that I have to be aggressive, then I will take one aggressive one. आपको adopt करना है ना, वो आपको hire करेगा, हमको adopt करना है. और मुझे लगता है कि इसमें कोई बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. अगर मैं बोलता हूँ, अगर कोई बोलता है कि शुभम बेवकूफ है, और शुभम को बेवकूफ बोल के वो अगर 7 लाख पर एनम का जॉब दे रहा है, तो ठीक है. हाँ सर, मतलब मैं बेवकूफ हूँ, मतलब not literally that meaning of बेवकूफ, but then what I'm trying to tell you is that getting in sync with that need of the company.
एक मेल आपको भी आया Northern Trust is coming. Okay. Or Akshita will be coming in some time. Please stay to be job description guidelines वगैरह जो भी है, she will be coming and discussing second. और बाकी सब कहाँ है? हाँ उसका
Shreya with you, but I don't know at some more. और उसका सिमरन का आज हाउस चेंज करना है, उसका एग्रीमेंट वगैरह कुछ प्रॉब्लम था.
Are you new? I'm seeing you for the first time. I have forwarded you a mail for Northern Trust. Have you all received? Once. Who's there?
Only Samiksha is there.
She's attending the first time or she's on?
No, she's a regular offline student. Maybe today she is attending from online. Like.
Receive, right? Receive your name.
So I'm not able to hear.
I have some issue with my email. What's the issue? My ID is wrong.
Hello, sir.
Samiksha, have you received my mail?
No, ma'am, I have not received yet.
Even you haven't received? You have not received, just message on the WhatsApp group.
Promotion or charge other.
Have you checked it?
I got.
Sir, I'm not able to hear.
Samiksha, check your mail once or else drop a WhatsApp message on your group that you have not received the mail.
Okay, ma'am.
With Northern Trust. Samiksha, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
There is an opportunity with Northern Trust, and for the year, this is the last opportunity. That's the reason I have opened it with you all guys as well. So if you are interested, apply for the opportunity. Once you apply, I'll be sharing some another mail with you guys where you have to complete the registration on the website of Northern Trust. After which you'll be getting the link for online test, and you have to complete the test. Once you're done with both the things, you have to update me in the same way. So this is the last time. Northern Trust will be hiring around 400 candidates in the next month, May and June. And after June, they are not coming for the another next year with the opportunities. So if you want to apply, apply it now only. Okay? The package will be around 3 to 3.5. Rotational shifts, which is there in almost all the organizations if you're going for investment banking.
I think salary is not mentioned in the mail, no?
Salary is not mentioned, it will be 3 to 3.5. That's the reason I came upstairs to tell them the salary.
And then the job role?
Job role is analyst, the responsibilities are mentioned in the mail.
Everyone has got the mail. So why don't you put this in the WhatsApp group as well?
I'll drop it.
Okay, so that because if someone has not received the mail also, because they have to apply before 7 p.m. today.
I'll drop it.
Okay.
Yeah, by 7 p.m.
Before 7 p.m. they have to do.
Have to share
so
the
I think
please
you can create some image kind of thing so that we can forward it in the or put in the WhatsApp group. Maybe something where they can get everything.
I wrote the same in their WhatsApp.
Yes.
I just wanted to check their interest. How many of you are
And does the
interested?
same will be counted at that 5%?
5%, yes, it will be.
And I hope you are sharing this with the pass out batches as well.
Yeah, of course. I dropped the same in your WhatsApp group. If you are interested, you have to apply by sharing your updated resume on the mail and the tracker which is there. I have already shared the tracker. You have to update your details in the tracker and share it back with me.
See guys,
the same Excel format, no PDF, no Word.
One thing is very clear. The profile is very good. You know, I will just guide you on some recruitment process as well so that you will have some clarity. So these kind of roles, maybe you are getting again, it is not a less salary, 3 to 3.5, right?
Yeah.
So it is not a less package. At the same time, you know, these are the people who are groomed by companies for their future leadership. So I will just guide you on the pattern of hiring as well, and that will give you an idea whether you should apply or not, or what are the questions that you should ask. So we'll discuss this. So this you are giving to CBOP 11 as well, 9, 10 and 11 as well.
For in training, it is only for CBOP 9.
No, so you can give it to CBOP 10 as well.
They are not done with their level, like they are not eligible. As
No, they are done with the L1 box.
I have discussed the same with Siddharth sir, and as per like he has told not to share it.
I think
He has a better view. Done? Any questions? Any doubt? I hope you will all apply and will share the tracker. Location is Pune. And it is work from home as of now. Once they are done with all their resuming back to office, they'll update you. Okay? Maybe till December they'll be working from home.
Pune में location कहाँ?
Pune में location for Northern Trust.
Karadi.
Karadi is there and Viman Nagar I'm not sure about it.
अच्छा कुलदीप अक्षता कुलदीप का क्वेश्चन था वो एक्सा का कोई का
एक्सा का फीडबैक में एक्सा इज ऑन होल्ड अभी योर प्रोफाइल yours Vishwesh and those who are done with the first round their round will be conducted in the within 2-3 weeks. Okay, the second one, the final one, it will be a HR discussion mode. हाँ उसके बाद you will get the final.
और उसका एक बलजीत नाम का जो
बलजीत she has already done.
हाँ बट वो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन वगैरह हो गया बट उसका अभी
ऑफर अभी आएगा. It is taking some time because she has some experience and everything, so it is taking time.
मतलब उसको कोई confusion तो नहीं है. I got 2-3 WhatsApp yesterday also. मैंने कुछ reply मैंने बोला आप एक बार अक्षता मैम से बात करो. She has the better view, so she must be trying to reach you.
I have already reverted to her. She will be getting the offer letter soon. But it is from this batch?
No, she is from CBOP 43.
Okay. You'll be getting the update within next 2 weeks. Okay, for exam. Clear with Northern Trust? Yes.
Engineering background.
Yeah, you can. Anyone who is having experience more than 2 years cannot apply. Rest everyone can apply. Okay. Done? Having sorry, experience 2 साल से ज़्यादा हो तो नहीं apply कर सकते. Online. Interview online होगा.
Needs to know the date, like tentative date when
6 coming 6 tomorrow it is. Tomorrow there will be a drive. So today you have to complete this registration. Like you have to apply. After which I drop a mail. When you have to apply and complete the registration on the Northern Trust website. After which you will be getting the link with the test, and you have to complete the test. Once the test is done, you have to apply. Okay. Tomorrow there will interviews are starting. Take more.
the test will be in the format of what will be the motion. So it will be the domain first aptitude test.
You test before 7.
No, not test. You have to apply before 7. After which I'll drop a mail to you by 7:30. Once I get all the applications, and you have to complete the registration today itself. The test you will be getting. You can complete the test by 11 p.m. tomorrow. 11 a.m. sorry. Okay. After which the interview will be starting. You'll be getting a call.
So like companies have different mood to hire with different mood. So there is something called as obviously freshers hiring, right? And there is something called as lateral hiring. Okay. Then again, there is something called as on campus, off campus. Okay. So now, generally, the lateral hiring is more of immediate requirement. They will do some walk-in kind of thing. Even they will do walk-in here also. Okay, but any such drive coming through their portals and all, you know, they want to hire fresh bloods to the view where they want to see a long-term association with you. Okay. Because they have to also grow people who will be able to take over the various roles and responsibilities 5 years, 6 years, 7 years down the line. So generally, because and in that kind of hiring, generally salary is low because they will be investing a lot of time on your training and all. Okay. Just to give you an example, like for example, in Indian Army, they hire you on 10+2 level as well and on graduation level as well. But 99.9% is brigadiers, lieutenant general, or major general. They become from NDA batches, not from the CDS batches, which is on graduation level. They will be officers and all, but they will never go to that level because they believe that we have invested money, we have invested our time in grooming you in that. So where they will talk a lot about the company's culture, their tradition, their mission, their vision, their goals, so that you know slowly and gradually you are preparing for yourself. Whereas in lateral hiring, you will come, you will join, you will walk, maybe you will get a good offer, you will move on. Even in there also, you will get good offer, you can move on. But then there they will try to stop. In such lateral hirings and all, they will hardly try to stop it. If not to do, it's okay. It's your choice. Until unless you have done something extraordinary. Okay. And by the way, if you are not doing anything extra, you will always be ordinary. If you want to be extraordinary, you have to do something extra. समझ आ रही है? तो कुलदीप बाबू थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा करो, ठीक है? एकदम आपने कभी स्टीम इंजन देखा है जिसको कोयले से चलती है, उसमें ताकि यूट्यूब पे वीडियो देखना, ठीक है? आप जब तक पढ़ाई में अपने आप को उस कोयले की तरह नहीं झोंकोगे फिर तो एवरेज होगा, सब एवरेज हो रहा है, एवरेज एवरेज। अभी तो बच्चे आए थे, नहीं मिले, उनके साथ मैं भी चैट किया, सब लातूर लातूर सर, लातूर मालूम, वहाँ पे भी मराठी में ही पढ़ाई होती, इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल बहुत कम। I think they have posted people in no, that is they are the same. मैं ऐसे ही बच्चों के साथ काम करता हूँ। आपके पास नॉलेज नहीं है चले, आपके पास बस फायर है तो आ जाओ साथ। और they have said कि मतलब मैंने कब कब क्लास में क्या बोला है मुझे भी याद नहीं है, लेकिन उनको याद है, तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है, अच्छा मैंने ऐसा बोला था क्या कभी? तो सर आपने ये सेंटेंस बोला तो मेरे को बड़ा लगा कि नहीं यार सर इट्स I might have said sometime like you know that when I was taking their initial introduction and all, I told them that you are on graduation because you have already wasted 3 years of your life in doing this, in doing that, in doing that. तो 2 साल सीए बनना था, 1 साल सीएस बनना था, फिर कहीं से आर्टिकलशिप आ गया, पता नहीं क्या आ गया, और 8-0 पे कुछ नहीं उनका टाइम चला गया। आज जो इसको लिया है इसको तो भाई पूरा कर 100%। टेक इट एज अ लॉस्ट ऑप्शन, टेक इट एज अ लॉस्ट ऑप्शन, हमारे पास और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं। बिल्कुल अपने आप को इसमें लगा दो एकदम बिल्कुल, जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया इंग्लिश में, उसको मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन आप जाके जो वीडियो देखना जरूर यूट्यूब पे मिलेगा कि कैसे वो कोयले को इंजन में वहां पर फायर होती है उसमें डालता है और वो आग फिर से जलती है और फिर उससे जो स्टीम बनता है उससे वो रेलवे का इंजन चलता है। तो आपको अपने आप को कंपनी के फायर में उस कोयले की तरह आपको जाना, अपने आप को बंद करना, अपने आप को चला देना का मतलब तब सीखना है, उसमें इन्वॉल्व हो जाना, ठीक है? और फिर जो उसे स्टीम करेगा उससे आपकी जीवन की लाइफ जो आपका कैरियर है वो चलता है, ठीक है? ओके, So Anand, please come. And then we'll have Kuldeep. Yeah, Shubham will also.
Hello everyone. There are 7 questions. So rather than answering in technical, I will try to explain in very simple language and try to relate it with our real experience. So first question is, do you look up to someone great in the area of finance? So yes, there are so many great personalities in this sector. For example, there are Dadabhai Naoroji, who is father of Indian economy. There is Dr. Manmohan Singh, who saved us from 1992 crisis. Then there is Dr. Raghuram Rajan, former RBI governor, and Dr. Abhijit Banerjee, Nobel Prize winner. But now, my interesting topic means my favorite topic is stock market. So I will be explaining about Benjamin Graham. He is known as father of value investing, which involves identifying and buying undervalued stock that have the potential to grow over time. Everybody knows this book, Intelligent Investor, which remains must read for all asset managers, stock traders, and investors. One of the IMP important follower, this Benjamin Graham is Warren Buffett. So next second question. In investment banking, what is your favorite topic? So investment revolves around stock market. So basically stock market in that derivative is my favorite topic. What in third question is, what information do you have on the given topic? So basically, what is derivative? And as you know, the derivative is most liquid instrument in whole world. In India, Bank Nifty and Nifty index derivative trading is very famous. It is most liquid instrument. In Bank Nifty and Nifty, what is the underlying asset? Hold that